Bonjour everyone and welcome if this is your first time. I am your humble French tarot reader and deck goblin Marie, back with an epic deck haul. I have not filmed really videos all months of January. Life has been very chaotic and hasn't left me with much spoons to actually show up and film the kind of content I wanted for you guys. I've been accumulating and I've not been able to film any videos for ages. Before I get into it, I just wanted to do a little bit of a disclaimer. I'm very aware that at the time of me filming this, there's a lot going on in the world, even more so than usually. I'm aware a lot of you watching this channel are in Northern America, and so I just wanted to say my thoughts are with you. I truly believe that the world is but a great web of life. We're all connected. The suffering of one is the suffering of all. There's been a lot of suffering, and I just wanted to say I'm thinking of you and I am with you in your desire for a better world. I even thought for a moment, is this right for me to do this deck haul? I've wondered, is this right for me to do this kind of content and post this video at a time where a lot of people are actually scared and worried. I truly believe that apathy is the enemy of community. I think that the patriarchal, capitalistic, colonial society that we live in wants to break us and wants to make us isolated and wants to veer us away from our joy as a way to control us. So I'm hoping this little video, as silly and superficial it may be of me just sharing decks, will brighten your day. And I just want to hopefully relieve a little pain you're feeling, even if for just a moment you can escape from the very harshness of this world we live in. So that was just my little intro. I hope that you're all taking good care of yourself. Please, that's the most important. Be kind to yourself, and I'm sending you lots of love. I'm gonna try and remember to put all the names of the decks in the description box. I don't think I'll be able to put links because some of these are gifts, so I don't know where the people who gifted me them got them from, but I'll put names and you can do your own research. Without further ado, we're gonna get straight in. Lots of juicy decks to get into. Fellow deck goblins assembled. Let's do this. I'm going to quickly go over a couple of decks I was sent for review. I won't spend too much time on them because I've done a full walkthrough of them. And these are indie decks by the company Wheel of Fortune. We have the Revelation of the Cat Spirit Tarot, and we have the Tranquil Dog Tarot. Obviously dog themed, cat themed. They've sent me lots of options. There's like pockets editions. You can watch the walkthrough. I go through everything. You have different cardstock and different sizes. And truly these decks are awesome. I've really been enjoying my time with them. So I don't want to go too long into it, but I did want to share it with you guys because I know there's a lot of cat lovers and dog lovers in this community. A lot of us have pets and love our pets, and so I wanted to share these decks with you because they have been truly bringing me a lot of joy and a lot of comfort in these times. So this is the cat deck, the Revelation of the Cat Spirit Tarot. I've been adoring this one. It's whimsical, it's cheeky, it's full of personality, the colors are bright, wonderful watercolor background. Like I said, you can get this in different cardstocks, so depending if you like matte or linen. Beautiful production quality, and a deck I've been really loving. The guidebook is also wonderful in this one. So the other deck by the same company that I've been adoring is a Tranquil Dog Tarot. Again, gorgeous production by Wheel of Fortune. They really pay attention to the way, produce decks. They're the same people who did the Whispers of Stars and Garden Tarot, which was one of my favorite tarot decks from last year, if you guys remember. And in this particular one, obviously due to the theme, it's a dog deck, and it's been bringing a lot of joy. This one is a lot more closer to the RWS. It feels like an RWS clone, but with lots of cute doggies. Big dogs if you love huskies, if you love Labradors, if you love larger dogs, I think you will really enjoy this one. And also if you like the RWS, and it's a very faithful clone. So those two, I've been using them consistently in the last few weeks, and they've been bringing a lot of joy. And again, I've done a whole dedicated video about them, so you can check it out in the cards. In terms of Christmas gift, I was very spoiled. First up, my cousin kindly gifted me 3 decks, And she always gives me decks I've never seen before. It's always decks I would have never thought to purchase myself or that never were on my radar. So the first one, it's called What's the Gossip? Oracle card by Si Shui. Don't know where she got this. I'm gonna make a wild guess and think that the decks that she got from Amazon because she often purchased stuff from there. 80 card, and it says it's a journey through modern life, relationships, and inner growth. And as the name suggests, it's a kind of like fun, modern kind of gossip deck, which again, you guys, I've never would have thought to purchase myself, but you know what? It's actually a lot of fun. So here are the backs. We have a bit of everything here. We have, as you can see, there's no guidebook because the text is like picture and text and a couple of keywords. It talks about careers, there's talks about like relationship, interpersonal relationship. There's mentions of like social media things like Photoshop, for example, or someone who's going viral. It feels very modern, very cheeky. I can definitely see why she picked this one up for me because it feels like it would be super fun to look at what's the tea, right? And we actually have done a couple of readings together where she asked me to pull some cards for her regarding some dates she was going, and it was very telling, let me tell you. You know, doesn't tell you necessarily what you want to hear, but tells you the tea for sure. So this is actually super fun. Would have picked this deck myself? Not really, but am I gonna use it? Absolutely, because I can see I can see this deck being actually useful in my, in my readings. If I'm doing a reading on like what are people thinking of you, or maybe a reading around interpersonal relationships, or like things about what are people not saying to your face, things like that, which sometimes can be fun. Sometimes there's something to be said about just doing some fun, silly readings with your friends. And this one actually was quite shocking again in the tea it spilled. We have the Journey Oracle and Embracing the Shadows. Again, I'm gonna guess that she got them from Amazon. I'm not sure, you guys, but just the box, Amazon vibe, or maybe Etsy. I'm not sure. Let's talk about the Journey one. This, I'm gonna say straight on, just from the images, I think it must be AI, to be honest, because just the vibe you guys are gonna see from the art style. It doesn't say how many cards, but this one has a guidebook, and you guys, I was pleasantly surprised. The guidebook is great. Like, we have a table of content, we have how to work with the cards, and then for each of the card you have full text, and you have an explanation as to what's on the card, like the actual image, and then you have meaning and interpretation. And it's really well written. Like, there's 2 to 3 pages for all the cards, and then you also have working with that card. So you have affirmation, you have actions, meditation. I was really pleasantly surprised by the guidebook because, when I opened the box and I saw it was an AI deck, I had the preconceived fear of like, oh, is this going to be one of those where they might have generated a couple of images and done the bare minimum, Fortunately, sometimes with AI decks, that's the case. Some people pour a lot of effort into them. Some people really do the bare minimum. With this one, I'm really happy to report the guidebook is great, at least. And so that means that I've been, again, enjoying my time with it. Is this a deck I would have purchased myself? No. Am I enjoying getting to know it? Yeah. As you can see, each card we have a full image, a number, and a keyword. And as the name suggests, this is all about spiritual journey. So all the keywords are very related to your spiritual path, your spiritual journey, what's going on in your life. It's a lot deeper than I expected it to be honest. It's total opposite to that gossip deck that was tackling like superficial, gossipy colleague chat, for example. This one is a lot deeper. It actually talks about things that relate to your spiritual awakening or challenges or life lessons that you might be facing. Again, the guidebook is great. The images, not all of them are my favorite, but there are some really great ones. It does feel consistent, at least for an AI deck, which I'm glad to see because sometimes the images can be all over the place. This one, it feels quite consistent in style, and the keywords are really great, and I've actually been using this one for myself, and I'm pleasantly surprised by how great it reads. So I'm actually excited to use this one for you guys in an upcoming reading because it's actually pretty good. I'm pleasantly surprised. Last deck that my cousin gifted me, she got me the Embracing the Shadow Oracle deck, 42 cards, and it says steps into the depths of self-discovery, healing, and personal transformation with the Embracing the Shadow Oracle. This one is actually my favorite out of all the 3 she got me. If you're looking for a shadow work deck, I truly have been enjoying my time with this one very much. There's no guidebook, comes in a 2-piece box. No guidebook because you're gonna see the text is on the card. I really like what the text has to say, and the images are beautiful. It feels very coherent in the color scheme. This has been a really great tool to add to my collection. I've been using it a lot for myself. I've been journaling with it, pulled a couple of cards from my friends, and this one slaps, you guys. It's actually really awesome. It really speaks and goes to the core of your wound, of what you're struggling with right now, of a potential like trigger you're facing, and of that shadow part that is asking to be brought to the light. I don't think it's too triggering, which I appreciate, because sometimes shadow decks can be really triggering in imagery. This one I find quite beautiful in the color palette in the images, so even though it can talk about some stuff that can be a little bit hard, it does so with a gentle touch, which I appreciate. And overall, I'm really pleasantly surprised with this one. Like I said, it's my favorite that she got me, and I know I'm already gonna have great readings with this for others as well. I can see like multiple ways of bringing this into reading, so I'm super pumped. Continuing with the Christmas gifts, we have a beautiful gift from a friend. Let's talk about the Tarot of Knitted Tales by Andrew Bolotin. I had never seen this deck before. I don't know where my friend got this again. I'm gonna guess Etsy probably. This, the reason why she gifted this to me is because she loves knitting and I love tarot, and so when she found this, she told me in her card that it was like a combination of both our passion, and I thought that was adorable and just the sweetest, most beautiful thing ever. So obviously now every time I'm going to use it, I'm going to think of my friend, and I think that's so sweet, right? So as the name suggests, Tarot of Knitted Tales, this is inspired by knitting. So it comes with a little guidebook, which is quite good. You know, you have an introduction, some keywords. It tells you like an explanation as to what's on the artwork. You have a little explanation of the symbols chosen, and then you have general meaning, upward and reversed, as well as some advice. And it's the same for majors and minors. We also have some spreads in there, so the guidebook is great. Here are the backs, obviously in line with the theme. And don't love this, the fact that it says, you know, the name of the artist on it. I would have much preferred it if it was all, I think, this wool design. That's just prettier to me, but minor detail, I guess. Doesn't come with any edges, and the cardstock is matte, feels like rose petal finish, but it doesn't stick, so that's great. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that this is created with the help of AI, probably. It just feels like that to me. I'm not sure, you guys. If you know, let me know in the comments. I haven't done any research, to be honest. I've just taken it out of the box and have been enjoying using it, but it feels probably like it was created with the help of AI. I've been using it in the last few weeks, and it's actually adorable, you guys. Like, I really appreciate this whole like knitted world. Everyone is made out of like knit, obviously, little puppets, and it's super cute. The choices of like the archetypes, how it's depicted, is really great. You can tell that the person who created it actually understands tarot. You know, even the fool, I love this like joyful, whimsical, going on an adventure vibe. We have the dog, but this is open, so it still gives that similar vibe as the cliff. We don't know if it's gonna fall down or if there's a little step or not. You know, it's an interesting take on the fool. I have actually been loving my time with it because, again, you know, it's a wonderful, thoughtful gift. And I can actually see myself using this for a lot of people as well, because it's really not threatening. It's adorable, and it follows like the RWS, but it also does its own thing. There is no nudity at all in this one, which we love to see for the stupid algorithm, you know. And I mean, come on, look at this Hierophant. It is adorable. So again, I don't know if you guys know anything about this deck. I love this Ace of Cups. It's super cute, and it's just an adorable little deck. Feels very consistent, feels joyful, feels whimsical, and it's been a joy to read with. I actually can't wait to read with this one for you guys on my other channel, because I've been using it for myself, and I've been really having a great time. And I also obviously did a reading from my friend who gifted it to me, and it was beautiful. Grateful she gifted this to me, and wanted to share it with you guys. If there's anyone out there who loves to knit like she does, maybe you guys will love this one as well. Look at this hermit, it's adorable. I have so many decks to share with you guys because I've not filmed a haul since way before Christmas, and my mailbox has been busy because I've been starting to receive Kickstarters. I had backed last year. So let's actually move on to Kickstarter decks. 3 to share with you. The most recent one that actually arrived in my mailbox yesterday, so I haven't had a full time really to look at it. I thought we'd discover it together, is the Yuki Cat Tarot by Stacia Burrington. I am so excited that Stacia has done another deck I love and adore, the Sakurai Bito, Stacia's first deck. So when I saw that she was doing another deck, I was like, take my money please, and come on, look at this gorgeous box. This already, when I opened the parcel yesterday and I saw how beautiful that box was, I was like, wow, you know, this was money well spent. You, I'm sure, can get this now for purchase. The Kickstarter just finished, so it might not be fully open yet for purchase, but I'm sure he will sell it at some point. Beautiful box, beautiful production quality. We have these gorgeous hollow accents on the box. Even the inside is absolutely beautiful. A guidebook, matte finish for each of the cards. You have some keywords, a little bit of a text. Not too much, but definitely enough, especially as there's quite a lot of renaming in this one, which you guys normally know is not my favorite thing, but for Stacia's art style, I will absolutely make compromises. Here are the backs, and they are absolutely stunning. Honestly, when I opened the box yesterday and I quickly just went through it, I gasped. This might be a contender for most beautiful decks of 2026 already, because it's truly gorgeous, absolutely stunning. Production quality, art style, 10 out of 10. We had a couple of extra oracle cards, the wild card and the wonder card, and this was absolutely a very popular Kickstarter. A lot of people backed it. I think a lot of us are huge fans of the Sakurai Bito, of Stacia's art style, so I think a lot of people like me, when they saw that this artist was doing another deck, so please take my money, you know, I mean, look how beautiful. So like I said, a lot of renamings in this one, especially in the majors. Again, normally not my favorite thing, but for this artist, I will take it. And especially for this art style, I mean, look at this Justice card, how relevant with everything we're going on right now. Wow, this might be one of the most powerful Justice card I've seen in a really long time. The Hanged one is beautiful. This whole art style is actually stunning. The Temperance card, it makes me think of fascia, and you know, I do a lot of fascia therapy for my chronic pain, so interesting take. For the Tower, we have a beautiful volcano. The Star card is absolutely stunning. I mean, this, you know, I think a lot of you will have gotten this, because when I saw the Kickstarter last time I checked, it was very popular, and I'm really glad, because she deserves all the love in the world, because her art style is absolutely stunning. So moving on to the minors, we have, I don't think the minors are renamed actually, we have wands, cups, swords, and stone for pentacles. So, you know, easy to remember. So beautiful. Feels quite elemental, this deck, between the Sakurai Bito and this one. They definitely don't have the same vibe at all. Even just holding the deck. Look at this 10 of wands. Poof, so powerful. As a chronic illness girly myself, I feel this in my soul. Yeah, like I said, it feels so different from the Sakurai Bito. Feels like a huge leap. You can tell that, you know, this artist, it's like her 2.0 version. You know, there's been an evolution, an upgrade. This feels like an even more evolved version of her art and of her vision of tarot, and it's so stunning, but also very poetic. I think it feels quite poetic, very emotional. Look at this King of Wands. How cute. I love him so much. Adorable. Let's move on to the sword. The Two of Swords is one of my favorite cards. So gorgeous. The Three of Swords is so powerful. Yeah, I can already tell I'm gonna be having some powerful readings with this one. I can't wait. I'm so excited. As soon as I finish filming this, I'm gonna be shuffling it and reading it for myself, because I can tell it's calling to me. I'm really, really glad I backed this on Kickstarter. This is already contender for most beautiful deck of the year. Like, it feels very special, this deck, and it feels like it has a lot to, you know, a lot to share, and I can't wait. And of course, I'll be using it for you guys as well. Look at this Six of Stone. Oof, so beautiful, you guys. This feels so deep. It's such a profound deck. I'm so happy to have it in my hands. And let me know in the comments if you've backed this one, if you have read with it already, because I'm probably one of the last people to get my copy because of where I live. So let me know What are your thoughts, the kinds of readings you guys are doing with it? Let's chat in the comments. This is another one I had backed on Kickstarter by Louis Art, and this Kickstarter was ages ago, but my original copy got lost, so they kindly sent me another one. So this one, I'm definitely one of the last people to have received my Kickstarter copy. The name suggests the Rabbit Tarot. This is a rabbit deck. Look at those backs, adorable, absolutely stunning. I love them. This I have also been loving using. I've been having a big like animal tarot kind of month this month. Maybe it's because I'm kind of sick of humans, to be honest. It could be very likely. It just feels like right now animals are a safe place, you know? I mean, they always are, but particularly this start of the year, it feels like animal decks have been showing up for me in ways that maybe human decks haven't. This is so cute. It's the reason why I backed it on Kickstarter is because it reminded me of books I read when I was little, specifically Beatrice Potter, I think her name was. You know, this like little rabbit main character she had, and it's so cute, you guys. I remember seeing a work in progress on the Kickstarter of people like creating this, you know, by hand. Super cute deck. If you guys like cute animal decks, then you know this is right. I mean, come on, look at this Four of Cups. It's so sweet. When it looks this cute, I can't help myself, you know. It's very RWS. They just feel like characters of a main story. There's a little bit of a fantasy feel to it, which obviously I love. And it's just really sweet, you guys. You know, it feels perfect for summer/spring. It feels, yeah, very springy. I mean, just the backs, and because we're in the middle of tropical summer where I live right now, I love this two of wands. Devil creeps me out, you guys. Oh, sleep demon right there. Oh, nightmare fuel. I hate it, but it's great. Yeah, like I was saying, it feels springy and summery. This one, you know, I mean, it's summer all year long where I live. But if I lived somewhere that had seasons, and then I would definitely use this one around spring and summer because it just feels perfect for that time. Look at these lovers. It's so cute. So yeah, again, you guys let me know if you back this one. I've seen a lot of people share this one on Instagram. I think a lot of us were seduced by the cute factor. I especially love the court cards in this deck. The pages are really wonderful, and this Page of Cups is everything. Like I could read a whole book about him, you know. It's so cute. You feel like my soul is craving sweetness right now. It's craving gentleness. It's craving, which is actually my word of the year, by the way, gentleness. I'm someone that normally can be quite harsh with myself, if I'm gonna be honest. You know, living with a invisible disability, you're always struggling with these feelings of not being good enough, not being productive enough, not doing enough. So I've really decided this year to try and make it a point to be kinder to myself, more gentle, less critical of myself. And so using decks like this, I find are really helping to amplify the nice voice in my head rather than the self-critic that can sometimes be quite loud. So again, let me know if you guys have this deck, if you enjoy it, the kinds of readings you've been doing with it. The Rabbit Tarot by Louis. The last Kickstarter deck comes with a little bit of a caveat. You guys know normally I don't buy AI decks on Kickstarters. I don't like support AI decks on Kickstarters. If I can avoid, I try and use Kickstarters only as ways to amplify indie artist voices. The particular deck was my exception to the rule, and that's only because it is inspired by my favorite movie and favorite books of all time, The Lord of the Rings. So this is the Fantasy Tarot Extended Edition, and this is truly for my Lord of the Rings lovers. You guys, I've been wanting a Lord of the Rings decks inspired by the movies for years, to the point where I've even considered like doing one myself. So when I saw that someone was created what they've called the Fantasy Tarot, I have the Extended Edition because, you know, I'm a greedy bitch. I couldn't help myself, you guys. This is my favorite lore. This is part of my core. I feel changed by the Lord of the Rings movies that I watched when I was younger. I rewatch them every year. And so for me, it's just really, really important in my personal world. I just had to do it. Comes with a guidebook that's actually really great because you have Tolkien quotes for each of the cards, which I think is wonderful. You can tell the person who created this is a fellow Tolkien fan, and I love that. Like I said, I got the extended edition because I'm a greedy bitch, and what can I say? I just love this world so much. So you had some extra cards to choose and make the deck your own. I think the creator is from the UK, and he was very open about creating this with AI, which I appreciate. At least it wasn't like any sneaky, campaign trying to pretend that they are not using AI when they are. Very open, very transparent, which I like. The backs are not my favorite, and it's because there's a white border, but the fronts don't have a white border. So I would have much prefer, borderless backs, I think, to match the front. But again, I don't care because it's about my favorite movies on earth. The paper is super thin, like terrible cardstock. Definitely feels like doesn't have any core. Again, I don't care. I love these movies and books so much. So truly, this deck is just, I will forgive all the faults it has because I just love the Lord of the Rings, you guys. I do a rewatch every time I'm going through a bad time. I watch the Lord of the Rings extended edition and the Hobbits. I listen to the soundtrack all the time when I'm working. It takes me to another place. I read the books every year. It's one of those things that just feels like part of my lore, in the movies Inside Out, people have little islands that make up their personality. In my brain, there's definitely a Lord of the Rings island. So when I saw this deck, I just had to do it, you guys. Even the cardstock, not great. The backs, not great. The fact that it uses AI on Kickstarter, not great for me anyway, not the kind of thing I normally back, but you know what? I don't care. It's brilliant. Like, they've done exactly the kind of deck I would have liked to create myself. So I'm so glad I don't have to do that now because someone did it for me. It's brilliant. It chooses scenes from the movies and inspiration that really is smart. You can tell the person who did this understands tarot and is a huge fan of Tolkien. So I really appreciate that. It's really clever. It's faithful to the movies and the stories, and it is truly a joy. Like, if you're a fan, this is one of the better Lord of the Rings decks I've seen out there. I would say an honor and celebration of this world, right? Look at the Ace of Coin with Bilbo's pocket. The Hierophant, we have Elrond, obviously. The Empress is Arwen. I love that. Eight of Coins, we have the Mithril. It's really clever. It's another take on the tarot, and if you guys enjoy tarot and the Lord of the Rings, then truly this one is great. Last time I checked, because I showed this on Instagram right at the beginning of the year, because I've had this for like over a month now and I've been using it non-stop. When I shared it on Instagram, some people said at the time anyway, the Kickstarter was still open where you could purchase the deck, like the campaign was finished, but you could still purchase the deck through the Kickstarter campaign. I don't know if that's the case or not, but maybe do your own research on Kickstarter. Again, it was called the Fantasy Tarot Extended Edition. Again, I guess they can't call it the Lord of the Rings Tarot for copyright reasons. Six of Swords, we have Gandalf healing Theoden. Beautiful, I think. A Page of Swords, gorgeous. The Tower with Saruman's Tower is so great. For the Chariot, we have Gandalf's horse. Oh, I just love it so much. Seven of Cups, we have Galadriel's fountain. Finishing sharing with you the cards. But yeah, it's super cool. And look at this strength card with the ants. And so I've got 3 indie decks to share with you. These 3 were on my wish list for a really long time, so I was super grateful to receive some money for Christmas so I could actually take them off my list. The first one is by a Spanish indie creator. It's the Arpias Tarot, which is Gateway. It's created by Arpa de Veritat. I hope I'm not butchering that. I believe they are based in Spain. I've seen this deck around since last year, and it's been calling my name. Quite simple. For each of the cards, you have some keywords, upwards and reversed. It's both in Spanish and in English, again, because the creator is Spanish, so that's gonna be great to practice my Spanish, because if you guys don't know, one of my best friends is Spanish, another one of my best friends lives in Chile, even though she's French, so I really need to brush up on my Spanish skills, you guys, because I have a basic level of Spanish, but it's not the best. And as the name suggests, which is Gateway, this is super witchy, super fantasy inspired, and it's so cute. So here are the backs. The cardstock is linen, so super easy to shuffle. We have adorable purple edges with a little bit of like glitter, shimmery glitter. It's super cute, great production quality, and in terms of the art style, you're gonna see it's super bright, super colorful, a little bit comic book kind of vibe, which I adore. This actually reminds me a little bit in style of my favorite tarot deck ever, the Joe Sparrow Tarot, and it had to be on my list of decks to get because I adore those kinds of decks with like, you know, cartoonish kind of art style with fantasy inspiration. And you're gonna see this one, we have little witches and fairies and like fantastical beings. So this is everything I love, to be honest. I haven't used it yet. You can see it's still in order because I've only received it this week. It took a while to come from Spain to Reunion, which I guess is usually the case. Like even when my friends send stuff from Spain to me, it can take definitely a couple of months. So I've not had this deck long and I haven't been able to use it yet, but I'm so pumped, you guys. This is exactly the kind of tarot deck I enjoy using. You guys know I love fantasy decks. If you watch my channel, I'm still due to do a huge tarot collection of my fantasy decks. I am waiting until I have a little bit more spoons and then I'm going to continue my collection videos because I started doing them at the end of last year and then I had to stop because of health issues, but I really want to continue because I have many decks to share with you guys, and I love watching people's collections. I think sometimes even in the background when I'm like cleaning the house, whatever, it's a nice, like, you know, something to put in the back, and it's like a chill kind of videos. I love watching them. So I want to continue my collection videos, and probably one of my longer one is going to be my fantasy decks because that's what I have the most of, I think, to be honest. If I had to guesstimate, you know, I just can't say no to a fantasy inspired deck. The wands, we had little dragon people. For the cups, we have mermaid. And you know what I love also about this one is that for a fantasy deck, we have people of different skin tones. Thank you, that's awesome. That's not something we see a lot of. Sadly, a lot of fantasy decks are not that diverse when it comes to skin tones, so I'm super glad to see some diversity here. For the swords, I think the swords are fairies, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look, little fairies, again, super cute. And you can see there's also a color scheme, like the swords are very purple, the wands were very orange, the cups were a little bit green, as well as the pentacles, so I love that. I'm having to hide some cards because we do have a little bit of nudity, but YouTube is ridiculous, and it's probably gonna tell me I'm sharing some things that's dangerous for people, so I'm being careful. Look at this Knight of Swords. It's awesome. I love it. I love this artist style. It's really recognizable and distinct. An RWS inspired deck, if I didn't say. Look at this Four of Pentacles. It's gorgeous. And the pentacles, if you hadn't guessed, it's giving very like gnomes of the forests. I love it. Look at him. Oh, so cute. So cute. I think Robin has this one from Robin Reflections. I love Robin's videos. Don't watch her, definitely go and send her some love. Yeah, I think I remember seeing it pass through on her videos. Let me know in the comments if you have it, if you like it. I'm always happy to support indie creators, and this one particularly feels like it's gonna be a joy. Look at the little rabbit on that Queen of Pentacles. So cute. So yeah, that's the Arpia's Tarot Witches Gate. We are finally gonna wrap this epic long deck haul video by sharing with you the last two decks. Both of them are by Scribblist. I purchased both of them from their Etsy shop. Super fast to arrive from Thailand, I believe. The one thing to note is that my personal shipping box was quite damaged, so my decks definitely took a beating. I think you can tell here. I try and like fix it. This one is not so bad, the Picturesque Tarot, but my Gourmet Tarot definitely took a beating. It might just be the fault of the post office where I live. Like, you know, you just don't know. By the time the box arrived, it was beaten. It looked like it had been stomped on by a dragon. So I tried to fix it. The cards are fine, thankfully, and so I don't mind so much about the box as long as the cards are fine. This, like I said, is my Scribblist, so they are on Etsy. I think they're based in Thailand, but for my peeps who are in Europe, Salon des Arcanes, which is an indie shop based in France, Nicolas stocks all of Scribblist decks, so if you prefer to purchase from them, that's an option. And in case it wasn't clear, the Gourmet Tarot is going to be about food. The Picturesque Tarot is about landscape. I'm a huge foodie. Personally, I love food. You know, my moon is in Taurus, so my way to get through any life minor inconvenience is to eat and to snack. I never get mad really, but if I'm hungry, then I will get hangry. Like, that's the only time where I can get irritable, is if you don't feed me. I don't do well if my stomach is empty. Other than that, I'm pretty chill, but food is the way to my heart, to be honest. So when I saw that this people had created a deck inspired by food, I straight away wanted it on my wish list. However, this came out last year or 2 years ago, I can't remember. Comes with a certificate of authenticity, by the way, and it went out of print super fast because it was super popular. So at the time I couldn't get my hands on it, and then finally they released a second version recently, and so when I saw on their Etsy shop they had version 2, I was like, yes please, and that's how I got my hands on it finally. Cardstock is a little bit plasticky but not too slippery, so edges are red, metallic, and the backs look like tablecloths, which is awesome. So as the name suggests, this is a food deck, right? The Gourmet Tarot, super popular. I think a lot of you guys will have seen it already. I, like I said, had been lusting after it since it came out, but because it was out of print, I just never thought I would be able to get it, to be honest, because then I saw that it was one of those decks that there was so much fakes on, like you could see it on Amazon or Etsy, but it was all fake versions, and so I thought, you know, it's just one of those that's gonna pass me by, and that's okay. So when I saw that they re-released it, they did a version 2, I literally ran, didn't walk. You know, this reminds me of, I don't know if you guys watched it on Netflix, there's an anime called Dungeon and Food or Dungeons and Noodles. I can't remember, you guys. I'll try and remember to put it somewhere. But it's a kind of like fantasy anime, but where people are going through dungeons, but there's also a huge emphasis on cooking food. And it's super fun, and the food in there looks always super yummy, and it reminds me of that because this whole thing looks like anime food. And I don't know about you guys, but when I was little and I was watching, you know, our 90s anime, all the food looked amazing and delicious, and I was jealous. So this also speaks to that nostalgic part of myself. On top of that, it's really smart for a deck of food. Like, you'd think, oh, it's just gonna be food that looks cute, but there's not much thought behind it. There actually is a lot of thought behind it. Like, the death card is a bowl of rice. Oh wait, there you go. Talking about it, it's a bowl of rice because it symbolizes, in Chinese culture, I believe, people would put bowls of rice for their ancestors when someone passes. The tower is a tower of burgers. The food is an egg, you know, full of potential. You can do so much with an egg. It's smart. It's actually really clever. For the 9 of Swords, we have chilies. I love that. I would love to know what you guys are using. If you have it, what are the readings you use it for? I've had this one for the last few weeks, and it's actually surprised me how good it reads. Like, honestly, if I've got this one because, again, I'm a huge foodie and I love the look of it and the aesthetic, but I didn't have expectations as to how it would read. I really didn't know how it would read, to be honest, and this is surprising me in a great way. This actually gives really interesting readings, so I need to use it for you guys on my second channel. Look at the King of Pentacles with the charcuterie board. Awesome. This is not for my vegans out there, you guys. There's a lot of meat. Definitely not for my vegans and vegetarians out there. If you don't like meat, this is gonna make you gag, but if you're a foodie like me, you'd love it. I mean, come on, the moon with a croissant is genius. Let me know in the comments the kind of readings you like to do with it if you have it. I would love to know. I need to try this for a career reading and see how it reads, because I don't know, it's giving me the vibe that I would love to chat for that. So I'm gonna try it and I'll report back. Oh my god, if you guys are still here, thank you so much, first of all, because this is gonna be really long, so I want to say thank you for still being here. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. It's all free ways to support my work. So let's get into the last deck. It's also by Scribblist. It's called the Picturesque Tarot, illustration by Lemon Ink and Ui Juni. I also got this from their Etsy shop. We have a really unique concept in this one because it's landscape And so the cards are all landscape as well, which is super fun. I don't have any landscape decks, I don't think, in my collection. We also have Certificate of Authenticity. This is another one that I've seen fakes go around, so definitely make sure you're buying it from, real places to support the artist. The guidebook in this one is more, I think, a little bit more text than the Gourmet Tarot. We have an explanation as to what's on the card, upward meaning and reverse meaning. So great guidebook as well. I've not actually used this deck yet because I've been using the Gourmet Tarot, but I've flipped through it and I'm so happy that I decided to get it because it's super cool and really unique. So if you guys watch my favorite tarot decks of 2025, you might have seen that there was a deck in there that was featuring buildings and architectural objects. It's actually called the Architectural Objects Tarot. I have a soft spot for decks that features like landscapes and places and that just take the human out of the equation. I find that really refreshing. So a deck like this that really focuses on landscapes more so than people feels like exactly what I need when my mind is busy, when it feels like I'm surrounded by chaos or frantic energy. Also, when my body is doing the most and I might be in a lot of pain, it feels sometimes really good to kind of put the human out and focus on the earth and our surroundings and animal, decenter our kind of point of view. Look at this devil. Oh, it's so good. It's awesome. It really is focusing on landscapes, places, natural elements, and it's really awesome. And I think for a landscape deck, it's very appropriate because you want to really see the image and dive into it. On top of that, again, I've only flipped through it, but it's extremely smart. You can tell that the people who created it, they understand tarot because it's really clever. For a deck that doesn't use any people, it still conveys the message so well, I think. And overall, I'm so glad I picked this deck up. I think it's going to be very unique in my collection, and I'm at a stage now where you guys know I have a lot of decks, so I'm trying to only bring in things that are either a little bit unique or part of something I really adore. So for example, if it's a fantasy deck, then I'm gonna be having a hard time to say no because that's my bread and butter. But other than that, I'm trying to bring decks only now that just feel like they are something a little bit unique. Like the Gourmet Tarot is all about food. This one, it's got a different format, a different approach to tarot. I'm trying to expand my vision always. I'm trying to find new ways to look at tarot always. And so when decks such as this one give you opportunities to look at the arcanas differently, I really appreciate it. As you can see, we've got no renamings. We've got steel page, knight, king and queens. We have wands, cups, swords and pentacles. To know if you guys have this one, what are your thoughts and also what kind of readings have you done with it? My first initial impression is that I want to use it for a day-to-day reading. I also think it would be great for things around potentially what are you not seeing, because it's so expensive. And maybe readings dedicated to gaining clarity, it could be really great. Again, I haven't read with it, so I'm just like, projecting what I want to try. Maybe even like things that look at the whole 6 months or 9 months, because you want a deck that is helping you to gain clarity and it's giving bird's eye view, like seeing things from a higher perspective. So it could be great for long-term predictions, things like that. Obviously, I'll try it and I'll report back to you guys. This Seven of Swords is amazing with a little kitty in the corner. Can you see it? It's so great. Knight of Swords, this gorgeous snowy forest. Again, so smart, beautiful. And the King of Swords. Gorgeous. So that's the picturesque tarot. That's the last deck I wanted to share with you today. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of these decks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're taking good care of yourself. I can't wait to chat with you in the comments. Until next time, I'm sending you so much good vibes and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye!